Uber. It was cold.
Yeah.
Does anybody else? I wonder if anybody else is like this. I love the ocean, but I hate going in it.
No, I like being in the ocean.
It's so funny you said that, Kellyanne, because people pee in the ocean. People pee in pools.
So do animals.
I can't. And I know I got 6 kids. I used to go to the pool, but then the diapers and what's coming out of the diapers and going thing, and I'm like, no, you know what? If you pee in a pool, imagine the stuff that's going on in the ocean. There's more. I can't.
They dump bodies in the ocean.
This is why you feel like the salt. The salt is the equalizer. I mean, that's how you rationalize
they're
it.
peeing in the ocean.
You know what? They pee in your water too. It comes out of the tap. Come on, John.
Like you recycle it, Lynn. But here's the deal: if I'm going to the ocean, and my family hates me, we all know that. I could ask them now; they'd all come in and tell you. But you put my foot in there. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, was this? Where did it come? No, someone peed in here. I'm not going in to swim and swallow. No, I love it. I love the feel. Sandy, good luck to you wherever you're at. Whatever's going on over there, not happening.
You know what cracks me up? The fact that John didn't say, I thought he was going to say, because you know what's in there: sharks, fish, crabs that can bite you.
I would rather be bit by a shark than eating someone's.
Now I'll go in the ocean because I'm a diver. I just don't like touching the sand.
Oh, good luck.
I'm all covered.
So,
yeah. Well, ask me if I went in it. I have not. I have not. It's so,
I stay on the perimeter.
So healing.
I
put my feet in it. That's it.
So Jennifer asked a good question here. Yeah. What's everyone's favorite
for her
vacation destination?
We're all going really
down. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. I should give her a link and tell her to join us. Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's right behind me.
Yeah,
British Virgin Islands.
Oh,
Virgin Islands.
It's the. Yeah. I mean, it's Nirvana. It's a 7-day sail around.
Are you able to hear me without any feedback?
We
hear a little bit, Rex.
Do you hear other voices when I'm
here? We can hear other voices.
I'm surrounded by heavenly angels and beings who are all chiming in at one time. But to answer Jennifer's question, the present is my favorite destination.
Oh. Why do you have to be so good? That is so good. I was just talking to my daughter today about being present, living in the moment. So let's all visit the moment. That's awesome. I like it. That's his favorite destination. What's your favorite destination, Kellyanne?
Bora Bora.
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice.
One of my best favorite vacations was there, and scuba diving and then Paul Gauguin. I got to go to his private residence, and I got to see the flowers that he painted. That's my favorite. I am going to go back probably in a couple of years.
Well, I've gone many times, and I guess until things change, I've gone many times to Puerto Rico. So I love the Puerto Rico. Just swim off the ocean there. So
and you go in the water?
Oh yeah, all the time. Absolutely. So yeah. Awesome. John, I'm putting you in center square. Stop shaking your head. Where's your favorite destination?
I gotta tell you, I was at Key West.
Please tell me.
For a few, I didn't go in the water, but I was at Key West for a couple of trips, and man, the history there is incredible. Mm-hmm. It's the people are unreal. The real estate prices are ridiculous.
Crazy.
But it's kind of like the southernmost point of the United States, and it's just a fun vibe. If you want to party, that's the place to go.
Yep.
There's great diving there too.
I didn't do that, Kellyanne, because I have a problem.
You know what, John? You could swim in my pool because nobody pees in my pool.
Because she's got that special dye. If you do, you'll know. Yeah, she has it tested.
Of course, I'm the only one that swims in it too. So right now,
yes, Jen, DJ Clam Shack. I do. I enjoy Key West. I've been there a few times. I enjoy that too.
I have to go there sometime when I'm down in Florida.
Who hasn't? Sandy, did you tell us where you're?
No, I didn't.
No.
And you'll be surprised. It's Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Sedona's. Yeah, I've been there.
Sedona is my favorite place.
It's beautiful, the rocks and everything.
It's magical.
Yes.
Well,
and you know what? Because of the reception there, like your cell phone doesn't work. It really doesn't work, even if you try it a million times. So that's what I love about it. It's like a sanctuary place. Like you can just go and unplug for real and look at all the beautiful rocks and climb the siestas and all that.
I think Jen, if she's still watching, get her. She does her
our mastermind retreat. We go there.
Yeah,
And you've been there then? Yes.
Yeah, I've been there twice.
Sedona
with Jen?
No, once with Jen, once on another trip.
Yeah,
nice,
beautiful.
It blows my mind that there's only one road to get in there, though.
Yeah. I freaking love Sedona. And I'm trying to say it with the New York accent because she's my girlfriend. Sedona. Love Sedona. Love her.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience.
I'm going to send her the link. I'm sending you a link right now on Facebook.
And this next time I go, I'm going to go see John Wayne's, where he wrote his initials on the canyon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, it's got that whole, cowboy feeling to it on top of, it just being magnificent, like the Grand Canyon in your face,
Yeah.
That's so cool. Thanks for sharing that. I would say I was thinking between two places. I loved Belize, but that was like the adventures that I went on when I was there was they were incredible. But I also loved, probably my favorite was Hawaii, specifically Maui. Now it's sad, but I love and it is like a slow paced chill out, and the flowers and just the landscape. It was just incredible. So I would say that.
You're not feeling the greatest, but I sent you an invite anyways.
What is it, Kellyanne? What is that?
Crystal.
At our retreat with Jen, we went and made these crystal wands.
Oh,
very cool.
How cool is that?
And everything means something. I can't remember what everything means, but everything.
But it meant something to you.
This has meaning.
These are important. Like full moons, I go charge it.
Yeah, that's awesome. We had our second full moon in 1 month.
And she still can't remember. So, okay.
I could look it up and tell you next time. But
okay.
Like I have a video, the lady, I let the lady, like, and there's like a arrowhead. You can see that. That's a protection thing.
Belize had that super small jumper plane where we
actually that was terrifying. That was part of my
a card deck.
Yeah.
As our ticket. What? Yeah, did you do that too?
It wasn't like, yes, Jennifer, so the jumper plane, when we got there and then had to take to the island, that was terrifying. It looked like, it looked like it was taped together. It looked like it was made in the 60s, and it hadn't had any maintenance. And I was like, I looked at everybody, we were with our friends, and we went for my friend's birthday. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, we got to get on the plane. And I was like, I felt like the jumper plane was equally as small, but it wasn't as crickety looking on the way back leaving. But it was scary. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the same plane that we used to go from Tahiti to Papeete. Because it was like,
so that's my next question then. What vacation have you been to that you did something that was kind of scary or out of your comfort zone, whether it be eat food or something that they traditionally had that you felt a little awkward and Sandy, you're in the middle right there. She's shaking her head.
I already know what I'm going to
Or even if you went outside of Chicago there, John. So you keep thinking, because I know you could participate in this question.
John's going to say, yeah, I remember the time I got in the ocean.
Yeah.
The time I almost fell in the ocean.
Yeah.
My wife
was the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
That was it. That was adventurous.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sandy.
Okay. All right. So I went to Wales. So one of my other favorite vacations, I went to Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. And I was in Cardiff and there was there in Cardiff, there's a castle. And before I flew over there, I had a really bad fear of heights and flying. And what's cool about that whole trip is I came back without it, because I was at this castle and I thought to myself, I will never come back to this castle probably. So I have to climb up the steps into it and, hoist myself up at the top of it. Right. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I couldn't be a chicken anymore. I had to really just go up those steps and go, okay, I'm doing it. Because it's now or never, So really, it helped me to overcome the fear of heights. And that was like my best memory is taking the pictures from the castle, from the top of it. Cool. So
that's awesome. I love it.
To fight your fear like that and then to say, I did it, that's empowering.
I love that, Sandy. And Alan, thanks for coming in. We're asking the question. We were talking about vacation places, and so you're coming in at a great time, because I'm going to ask Scott the question next. And the question we're asking now is if there's any vacation that you've gone to that you've either felt awkward trying a traditional something or doing something that was not, out of the ordinary for you, that was kind of out of your element, that you felt uncomfortable doing, tasting, being, whatever. And so Sandy just shared being at a castle and going up the stairs and conquering her fears. And so that was pretty cool.
The only thing that fear at any one time was in Maui, going up the north past Kaanapali and Kapalua, and the road went from 3 lanes to 2 lanes to 1 lane to a half a lane around a rock, and we were balancing a town car on a half lane road in a place we shouldn't have been. We didn't, there's a nice sign that says 4-wheel drives only from this point. Evidently we thought a Lincoln Continental was a 4-wheel drive, and we were hanging it over a cliff. And as we're moving around, a rock came down and punched a hole in the side of the rent car. And we ended up finally getting off this side and pulled into basically a drug village, on the north end of Maui, with people sitting on their porch with shotguns as this Lincoln town car pulled through town, because we were going to take a shortcut to the golf course. We just felt it was a better way to go. And hell, we ended up bondoing the car and spray painting the car before we turned it in.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you paid for that extra insurance.
No, we didn't. We just fixed the car. We literally bondoed it and painted the car.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, we almost ditched it off the side because we were on a road that there's no chance we should have been on. And so that's the only scary time I've ever really had on a trip. Diving the shipwreck Roan down in the BVI's at 75 feet with 5-foot barracudas staring at you going, hey, you got anything for me? No, leave us alone. That was just cool. That was a cool experience. But that thing on Maui was crazy.
That is scary. That is scary. Miss Callanan?
I don't know. I'm pretty gutless. I don't do any risky things.
We didn't know we were doing something.
Well,
risky.
This probably was risky because you could have got in jail for that one.
Yeah, thrown out for that one.
Okay, so let's just say this about Callanan, okay? She might be Mrs. Safety when it comes, she's not going to be Evel Knievel doing random shit, but she likes to talk to people and get people going with little jokes. So they're
So you want to explain that story real quick?
No.
That was more, you know what? I should rephrase the question on this one. This is something awkward you do so that people that are from there felt awkward, because for a minute, the tourists felt like, I didn't read this in the histories, but let me go Google this.
The tourists were bombarding the help.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay, so just for reference, we all know that these are large and in charge. Okay, these stones are
They're
like
giant monolithic.
they're giant, and they've been there for thousands. Okay, so then
Oh, that's a new rotation, 6 months.
according to Cal and Ann.
That was so fun, though. Oh my god! Well, it was funny that people were actually believing it. Like they were they're getting their phones out and getting the Google.
They're like, I kind of don't believe her, but she's pretty serious.
I was pretty convinced.
Yeah, you are. You could have been on the Tell the Truth commercial, or and you're saying this woman's being
They're creating mayhem.
Mayhem. Could you please leave? She got kicked out.
No, they said I was going to have to leave if I didn't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
That was your first time out.
Yeah. So they had your ID at the door, right? No, just kidding. They took your picture away probably when you came back.
They did walk me to the bus.
Oh, shit. They're like, we don't know what other mayhem she may cause. Keep an eye on that one.
That's right.
I decided not to go any more tourist events on that trip.
Oh my gosh.
That's so fun though to be with somebody who just
Mr. John, have you thought of a good story to tell us?
You know what? It was funny. It was in Knoxville, Tennessee. If that's not funny enough, I will finish it now. Is my sister lived there, and this was years ago. So my older sons were in a car, and there was a guy with a helicopter in his front yard. It wasn't a landing strip. It was a front yard, and it was a cardboard sign saying helicopter rides $20. So what does a good father do? Takes his son out of his car and like, let's go, brother. So we ended up now you look back at it, dumbest thing I've ever, several. So my son and I get in this helicopter, and the guy's like, you ready? And I'm like, whoa, okay. So he takes us up and brings us a full tour of the Gatlinburg area, which was beautiful, but then lands us back in his front yard. When you look back on that, if you were to see a guy it's like a homeless guy.
Oh my God, I'll be right back. I got to get something.
You have a sign. Deb has a sign saying you want helicopter rides. I know she's coming back with that. So bottom line is you look back on what you did. This has got to be 27 years ago. Some man is holding a sign saying helicopter rides $20. So you throw your kid in there. You have a great time. And that's what I got.
All I can say is Father of the Year.
Oh my God.
What do you got, Deb?
Okay. You guys.
Don't even. Were you the helicopter driver? Were you the helicopter driver?
No, she's the helicopter mom.
I was going to talk about when I was in Honolulu, I also fight fears of height, like bad. So when in Honolulu, I hiked to the top of Cocoa Head. And then it was fine. I'm fine going up. It's coming down and it's like, and it's like railroad ties and there's like craters underneath and it's scary. And I did that. And then I was like, yeah, I'm a badass. Okay. But here's the funny thing. You just triggered a memory. So a few weeks ago, I was sorting through some in a storage unit and I found this picture and I'm like, who does this? This is not something I thought was even a big deal. This is probably 20 years ago. And look what we did with our kids.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait. Can you see? You can't see the picture. You guys, my son looks terrified. Okay. And Corey's like, why are we here? Look, David and I are like,
hold on, I'm gonna make this big. Hold on, do that again.
Wait, was that in like Knoxville area? Because after the helicopter,
look at David and I. We're like, this is such a good idea to take our children to a live tiger. And look at our kids.
Let me just grab his tail.
They're like, they're the smart ones, like young
Debbie. Yes, now you're asking me why Dalton went into the career he's going into.
Psychology. Like I'm trying to figure those people out.
Hey, Deb, to make it worse, if that was in Gatlinburg, after we got off of the horror, which I didn't think, we went to Gatlinburg, and then what you did is you bought a bowl of bread. You bought a bowl of bread, and then you went into someone's house, God knows, and then you fed the tigers. They had tigers in their house.
Who doesn't?
I'm a bad parent. I gotta go. I'm just gonna sign off. I gotta go.
Really? There's a knock on the door. That's Child Protective Services.
You guys, I know John and I are bouncing back and forth between who's the dumbest, but can you see the people behind the fence and the barricade?
Debbie, burn that picture right now before your son.
Oh,
Debbie,
has a bad idea 20 years ago.
Look at
You're
my
just
daughter.
figuring it out.
She's holding a stingray. Yeah, Mother of the Year.
I mean, seriously, who does that with their kids? Like everybody else is like, look at that family with the tiger. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my
Didn't
god!
think anything of it until like 2 weeks
Alligator
ago.
Farm.
I can't wait to hear what Rex got to say. But next, I'm going to put Alan
Hi,
in
Alan.
for Alan. Alan, I know you've traveled abroad. I mean, I know you've gone a few places in your career. So I would love to hear what traditions or awkward things that you encountered that you'd like to share with us. So that I can have this all in one incriminating tape for all of your asses.
I don't really know that I've ever actually been awkward. Or I mean, I've just always embraced the different things, whether it was eating.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, Debbie was embracing a tiger.
So yeah. The raw horse story was sort of fun. I'll tell that one. I was living in Japan and I went out to dinner with the supervisor. And as we're ordering, he said, "Horse, okay?" I'm like, "Horse, like you ride?" And he's like, I'm like, "Okay." So then they bring the horse to the table and it was raw. And it
Where's Mary when you want him?
Little, really thin little strips, and it's on this platter. And I looked at it and I said, "Raw." And my supervisor went, "Rare." And I went, "Rare, little cook. Raw, no cook." He's like, "No cook."
Oh my gosh.
And so, I mean, they eat the raw fish. I'd had sashimi. Raw horse is actually called ba sashimi.
Oh.
And so I took the piece and I ate some and we had dinner. But then a little bit later, I was in a supermarket with a couple American friends.
And you started whinnying.
Just like Costco has the little samples that you can try in different supermarkets have here. They do that in Japan too. And that particular day that we were at the supermarket, they had the samples of the raw horse.
Oh, jeez.
It was following you.
And I was like, "Hey, I've had this."
Had to
both
have
my
a bad
friends
race
said, "No way." I'm like, "No, you have to have some." And I took a piece and ate it. And they're like, "Ugh." I was like, "No, if you don't eat it, you won't have a story later."
Yeah. Did they?
They didn't. But I have always embraced anything, regardless of I've eaten things I don't know what I've eaten. I've eaten a lot of other weird things. I've gone places, because if you don't expand your horizons and do fun and different, unique things, you won't have the story later.
Yeah.
But that's my raw horse story from Japan.
And too bad Barry's not here. I love it. I love it.
Because he'd be digging through the pile of manure looking for that horse.
Mr. Rex, thank you for coming back to us. Are you back or not? He's with Mark Victor Hansen. So I don't know if he's back or not. We might have to skip
he's
him.
On another call. Yeah.
He is, but we can bypass him right now. If that's But
this has been so fun.
This is fun to
story.
getting to know each other a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Alan, I really enjoyed that story. And John's
why
still
don't we talk
shaking
about
his
our worst vacation?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I think
we talk about where we love to go and all that.
Yeah, I think Kellen's the first one. She's
I don't know
like,
if I can talk about it.
Oh,
it's traumatizing.
Come back to me. Let me see.
Okay. She's got to get the guts to come back to talk about it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Sandy.
Oh no, now I'm on spot. Okay, hold on.
You're in the dark, so that should make you feel more comfortable.
Oh, the worst one.
Vacation.
Yes, I do have a worst one.
Okay.
So I live in Virginia, and south of us is Nags Head, Outer Banks. I don't know if any of you've been there. And that's where the road to Rodanthe was, shot with Diane Keaton and not Clint Eastwood. Who was in that? Anyway, it's a little Outer Banks island, and we had a trip, and we were getting ready to go, and we get down there because we're not that far, so we load up the van, get down there, and I think I have the flu, so like I'm there thinking I have the flu ish. And, the kids are going off, and I'm riding bicycles. I'm on the beach. I'm doing all this thing. And this is like on a Monday. And then I'm just not feeling well the whole time. And it hurts and whatever. My stomach is hurting. And finally, the Thursday night, I was like, okay, because it was ruining my vacation. I was like, this is ruining my vacation. And so I go to the ER, and I had an appendicitis.
Oh no.
The whole time.
Wow.
So I was like, no, this is my vacation. I'm not going to have it ruined. And they had to do surgery. But the guys, I'm telling you, it was the Outer Banks, Nags Head, ER. All of it were like these men that looked like they stepped out of a GQ magazine. I'm not kidding. Like they were like surfer dude.
That's the bright side of it.
ER guy. I was like, what? And I was married at the time. I was like, oh my gosh, all these guys. I mean, I had a whole male staff, and I was like, and they were so excited about my appendectomy. They're like, oh, you're our first one, because we usually only get Bishop.
That would not make me excited.
This is like a Cinemax movie, Sandy.
It is. It's like look at all. It's like a bunch of children around the game of Operation. Remember?
Oh my god!
Our first time.
First time. Yeah. So I was only in the hospital one day and back out. But
the bright side is you had some male nurses
on my vacation, an appendectomy on my vacation.
No, thank you.
I mean, come on.
You had some nice guys keeping an eye on you, but for them to tell you it was their first time, I don't know how comfort I would have felt about that.
Yeah. How many times did you use that line, Lynn? My first time. I'm sorry. I've never
just
seen
stop it. John, you stop. You're not in the middle square.
I'm sorry. I'll stop talking.
Okay. You can move them.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to.
Come on. If you're a dude, seriously, Rex, I'm not missing. If you're a dude and you have a woman and you're like, oh, I've never seen an appendix before. Come on. Seriously. I know men are like idiots, but women, come on. You gotta know. Rex, you're in the middle square. You gotta agree with me. You get a woman.
No, it's
I'm muting myself. Goodbye.
Now he doesn't know who any of us are.
He's thinking about an appendix.
That's right.
An appendix?
Stop it. I'm muting. Goodbye.
You stay right there. Okay, Mr. Hipster.
I've had
the less favorable. Let's not call it worse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've really, anytime you can get away, it's great. There's some that are better. I don't know that they're any terrible. In my younger days, I loved the sun, and sometimes too much, to the tune of second and third degree burns.
Oh my gosh.
Being outside, just being stupid, and things like that, staying out too long and then having to handle that ordeal, of blistering and everything like that. And you just go, that's just stupid. you know, but you do those things when you're younger, you know, but which then, you know, I mean, that whole, you know, having to deal with that kind of kibosh is some of the things that you're planning on doing because you're in pain, you know, from that side. So that's the only thing I can really think of. I mean, most of just getting away and doing something different is just fun, you know, even if it's goofy. Some stuff hasn't turned out, but it's weird. Really trying to think of that. I don't remember that stuff. When people sit there and say, you know, you've been through this or that wasn't exactly positive, the vast majority of that I don't remember. I mean, I've cleared it out. So I've cleared it out or wrote a book about it. One of the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I mean, even that stuff was, you know, what you end up learning through it and things like that. So I just don't see it that way.
Right.
You know?
In your case, well, that sucks. What now? It's aloe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, oh, look who's back in the middle.
But I'll interject real quick before he gets in there. I would agree with you. I mean, I remember being 21 and driving from New York to Florida for the first time and being Puerto Rican. I usually tan like in 10 minutes, but no, I took a tan. I've been out in New York sun out there for 10 minutes. I burnt to the crisp like nobody's business, and vinegar, aloe, nothing helped my skin. That was just, I realized how rough that sun is in Florida. So, but that was probably about the worst thing on a trip for me. So, yeah, Mr. Horton.
He's gonna say again, his wife pushed him in the ocean. It was terrifying.
Yeah, pushed in the ocean. Had
dolphin pee. I think we know what's the worst for him.
Handle it.
Now he's in an attic somewhere. He lost his ring light.
No, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
No, did I lose it? I tan like an Irish white guy, right? It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
It's not as bright.
I think before
you found out the light works better in front of you than behind you.
Behind me? I don't know how the hell to work this shit. I'm not young.
I'll teach you earlier.
I don't get it,
Kelly. You're hilarious.
I don't get it. I put this shit up. I buy it.
Oh, there it went.
There you go. Just stay right there. Just move.
Yeah,
move
hold
over
your
a
left
little.
arm out like
Hold
that.
your
Left
Well, look at Sandy.
The left leg.
He's gonna say this is his worst trip.
I've said nothing, but I'm bullied. I feel bad now. No, I don't. I love you all. Go to hell. All of you go to hell. Sandy Stark, she's got a hat on, sitting in some tropical. Debbie always looks beautiful. Ellen, I just met you, so I can't say anything. Kellyanne, you're amazing. What the shit?
I love you,
God,
John.
what is
Oh, there we go. There we go. There's light. There you are. Stay still.
No,
Stay
it's
there.
weird.
Anyway,
It's like a
point is, I really don't know what the point was the entire fucking hour we just had.
It's a trip and you've been around the world.
I know. My kids are cooking dinner. I'm up. I don't know what's going on. The house could be on fire right now. But here's the deal. We have to do what we have to do with each other because honestly, all these people, these fucking lights kill me.
Killing me softly within.
But the point is, between Kellyanne and everyone on here.
Thank you, Jennifer. We've been entertaining.
But reach out to everyone we know and let them know we do this because so many people are missing this bright spot. Not to be a pun intended.
Yes,
you are the bright spot.
I don't know what's going on. There's a bright spot that everybody needs to feel every day. I always tell my team at work, reach out to 5 or 10 people every day. I'm thinking of you. How are you? How's your day? That to me goes a long way. And the response you get from other people, because nobody is doing that. You need to reach out. You need to be professional. You need to say, and just say, hey, man, I love you. Have a great day. Have a great Wednesday. And if you do that to 5 people a day, 35 people a week, you would be amazed how far that goes. Even if you can't see whatever.
John,
you have one of your children holding the ring light.
John,
which is walking around with it.
Which is your right, your left arm there? Your left arm there, that light to the left? Which is your left arm?
This is my left arm.
He knows
okay,
that.
so your right arm. That light over that way, shut off that one real quick. Shut that one off real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Just do the show, man. I don't know.
No, just shut it off a second. I want to see if that light's going to be brighter. Just shut that side off.
This topic is how to make the ring light work.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe you'll look a little bit better. There you go.
Move on with the show. Okay. I love you all.
I'm moving right along. There you go.
Yeah, honestly, spread that good news.
Love you, John. You're awesome.
Well, we love no lights on now.
Lights are on.
I love
look
at all that light. Look at all that light radiate on Alan.
It's an electrical line.
So we're talking our worst vacation.
Yeah.
That didn't even come up, man.
That's the question.
Like eating horse wasn't bad enough.
I mean, I actually like you were saying, I've never had a bad vacation. I mean, I love to travel, go places. I've had bad incidents on vacations, but I wouldn't call the whole vacation bad.
Right.
So what's something? Okay, I had a very memorable Christmas one time in Thailand.
Okay.
And the trip to Thailand was wonderful. Christmas Eve, I was drinking with a couple Australians and a couple Thai people on the little island of Koh Samet, which if you go to Bangkok and you go straight south to the ocean, then you can take a boat out to the island of Samet, the easiest and closest island to Bangkok. Because I wanted to go be on an island for Christmas Eve and Christmas. Unfortunately, whether the ice or whatever or something I ate on Christmas Eve or when I was out drinking, I woke up Christmas morning with the worst case of Montezuma's revenge. And that's how I spent my Christmas day on the beach, is running to the little outhouse. It didn't have nice bathrooms and stuff. It was a little outhouse.
There's an ocean right there, for God's sake.
And it had the ocean too. That's right.
We had an ocean view.
But that was sort of probably a memorable and not the most pleasant Christmas day. And there were no drugstores on the island. So I had to wait till the day after Christmas when I had the boat back to the mainland and go to Bangkok before I could go buy some drugs to help. So basically, I fixed the problem by not eating anything on Christmas Day and just let nature take its course. So that would be probably one of the worst moments of a vacation, even though the rest of the Thailand vacation was wonderful and I had a great time. But Christmas Day wasn't the best when I kept.
So you didn't do anything in the water at all? You didn't even go swimming? You hear that, John?
I did go to the water, but I went to the outhouse and then
don't drag me into this. I already did my piece. I'm done. Go on. Thank you so much for the visual, Alan. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome.
Go ahead, Alan.
Oh my God.
That's sort of it. I mean, that would be, like I said, probably one of the worst times during a vacation was that day. It was memorable.
Meanwhile, we got Rex over there and he's talking to somebody. He's having a good time.
He's like, well, he's probably like, I barely hear what's going on over here.
I'm so upset that I missed participating in this show tonight.
Well, he's with Mark Victor Hansen. So
Helen Ann, what's your story?
Yes,
So,
my
It was just it was.
Wait, she has to go through therapy first.
Yes.
I did. No, actually, I just moved to California from Illinois, and my uncle was gonna. I moved to Northern California, in Lake Tahoe area, foothills. But I thought we were moving to Los Angeles, Southern California. So I should have paid attention when my mom did say we're moving to California. Anyway, my uncle said, I'm driving down to Southern California and we were going to do this whole Hollywood beach, fun, exciting trip to LA, right? So I figure I'm going to lay out in my yard and start on my tan. Little did I know that I was severely allergic to poison oak. But I didn't know. I just had a few bumps when we left for the trip. So I noticed, I'm like, oh, I'm all itchy. And then my uncle's like, oh, it looks like you have some poison oak. And I'm like, oh, it does. So great idea. Drop me off at the beach for 4 hours and I'm going to lay out in the sun and slather myself with oil. By the time he picked me up, my legs were this thick. My face was almost swollen shut. I'm surprised somebody on the beach didn't like take me in an ambulance to the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
It was terrible.
What did you have to go to the hospital?
Yeah, I did. They had to shoot. They had to give me fluids and shoot. They gave me, I don't know what they gave me a shot of. And then my uncle had to go to the store and buy me a skirt because I couldn't walk. I couldn't wear pants.
No way.
And it was terrible. I mean, it was my big LA experience, and I spent it in a hospital and like sleeping in a hotel room.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Is Rex done with his show yet?
No, I'm still on both. And
it's okay.
But were you just talking about General Hospital? Or being in the hospital?
I was in the hospital.
She was in the hospital, but it would be like an actor to hear General Hospital.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. I was like, General Hospital. That's something I can talk about. No, I'm kidding.
No, we were talking about the best and worst vacations ever.
So that was my best,
and that was her worst.
She got a new skirt.
Well, it could definitely be. It could definitely be. I would not normally say this, but I'm going to say this, okay? But I'm not saying it for anything. I cracked a rib the other day on Sunday.
Ooh.
Gee.
And I had a whole week of training lined up this week, and I had to cancel it as a result. And postpone it. And I went to the dog park yesterday because it's difficult to drive. I can't turn to look over my thing. I broke it like right in front of my heart. I mean, it's a very odd spot, so very hard to. I'm real careful about this because I don't talk about it because I don't affirm. It's not a big deal,
right?
Everything is healing. So I only tell it to illustrate. So I go to the dog park yesterday, and I run into this woman who it turns out I know. She was the police social worker for the city that I live in when I'm in the Midwest. And I had met her 10 years ago, and we've been talking from time to time, but I didn't realize that this was her. And one of the police officers has become kind of a friend of mine, and she knew him, and I mean, all this kind of weird stuff. And she wanted to tell me something, and I had to leave, and she had to leave. She said, well, maybe we could meet tomorrow. And I said, well, I can't be here on Tuesday at the time. I've got a thing I'm doing at early morning, but I could try and come at 10 o'clock. So I get there at 10, and she's not there. But there's this gentleman there, and there's some picnic tables that were out in the sun that normally are in the shade of the tree. I'm sorry, this is becoming a long, convoluted thing. But at any rate, we discussed moving the table, and I said, well, I didn't really want to do it, because of my chest, but I didn't go into it with him. And he said he would do it, but he had back surgery and didn't really want to do it. And I don't know, let's just sit and talk. And so it turns out he starts telling me that he's a positive person, and he's a minister, and he's this and the other thing, and we share all this stuff in common. And we're both. Sasha wants to go in. I'm sitting out in the dark outside, but
so is Sandy.
Not as opposed to sitting inside in the dark and suffering. I'm outside in the dark and enjoying it. But anyway, the reason I tell you all this, what seemingly irrelevant backstory is, at the end of the day when we were getting ready to leave, I said to him, we were destined to meet. And we had been talking about difficulty and hardship. And I always say that if you consider something a blessing, it's a blessing. And when I broke the rib, I'm like, I don't know what this adventure is going to be, but it's going to be something good is going to come from that. Had I not broke the rib, I would not be where I was yesterday or today, because it's not a dog park that I go to in the mornings. I go to a completely different place about 10 or 15 miles away. But because of the injury, And again, I'm assigning the meaning. I'm finding the opportunity. I'm making, the story match my experience to some extent. But what I'm getting at is what seems to be a not so good experience of having a cracked rib actually has led me to meet a bunch of people who I would not meet, and one whom we're talking now about doing some business together because we both have a background. We both know the same people. He's a huge Stephen Covey fan, and this that, and the other thing, and and has worked in training and as a missionary, and I have too. So, but actually, we would not have met had I not had an accident on Sunday.
See,
so the hospital can be the best vacation.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean that
and let there be light, John.
Yeah.
And what?
Let there be light for John.
And let there be light for John. Well, I'm attempting to match what I noticed about John most of the time. It's often very dark where John is, but right now I see John kind of illuminated and the darkness behind him.
Seriously, I'm trying to figure out this technology, man. But first of all, Rex.
Well, wait a second, John. Edison figured it out years ago. It's called the light bulb.
Yep.
And in lieu of a light bulb, if you don't have one, there's a thing called a candle.
Look at this shit. It's right here. How bright can that be? Christ's sake, Rex.
I don't know what you're sitting it on that moves. It's almost like it comes and goes.
Come to class early. I'll help you out next time, John.
You know what you did, Rex? Is you manifested, brother.
I manifested light for John. John went,
oh, you suck ass. I can't believe we're having this conversation. I got lights everywhere. I'm going to move, Rex. I have lights in my house.
John, they have these other things called windows. They actually knock a hole in the wall, and they put glass in front of it so that the light from outside can come in.
Look at he's got light on.
Dark. This is our first fight, Rex. This is our first fight in a relationship. It's fucking darker than I am right now.
I know. Hold on, let me get.
No, do it. Don't do it.
Go to the light, Rex. Go to the light.
No, I'll move my.
Dad, how do you keep such a straight face?
You look gorgeous, John. Gorgeous, John. So now, if you hold, hey, John. Now hold it under your chin. It's October. Hold it. Yeah, there you go. Under.
This does look like Halloween.
Good job.
I can't take it anymore.
So we know he actually has the right equipment. It's just I
know. Right now, Deb. I can't see.
Next time you go for the eye exam, you can avoid that part of the exam. I think you passed it.
I hope you guys have health insurance because I can't see shit right now.
I love you, John.
Love you more, God. Rex. You're darker than me.
Now he's starting to stall.
Well, you guys.
All right. So I don't even. My story is just the kids. David and I were taking the kids. They were little. Dalton doesn't normally get car sick, but he did. We were in a minivan. We had to pull over on the side of the road and let him. We were driving down to the beach. It was only, oh my gosh, it was Virginia Beach. See, it's only like an 8.5-hour drive. And so we had to pull over. He's barfing and we're waiting. I'm helping him and everything. Well, in the meantime, underneath we'd been driving. It was hot. The motor, the
poor kid was getting sick because he thought he was going to see the tiger again.
And it was brushy. We damn near started a forest fire because the bottom of the van, and it was like, when it was starting smoking. So we get back in the car and we go. It rained the whole entire time. Tori fell and cracked her head open. We had an emergency room visit, had stitches. Then she couldn't get wet. She was 3, so we had to keep a hat on her and not get her wet. And then it rained the whole time. And then when we drove home, it was raining, and one of our windshield wipers broke. So we pulled over. But the bright side is a someone random stopped and helped us fix it. But in the meantime, Tori got car sick and vomited everywhere, like a lot. And she was still in a car seat. So it was all in there and it was icky. So we had to, once we got out on the road, then we stopped at the very first gas station we could go so I could clean her up. And it was, I don't know, I didn't realize it until we got out of the van. I left the side door open of the van, got the seat out, was washing it. David was helping me, took Tori in to wash her off. This place had like a fly infestation. So there were flies swarming everywhere. Got in the van. And anyway, I was about ready to stroke out, to be completely honest. I was like, where did this vacation come from? Like, this is insane. Couldn't wait to get home, but we all made it alive. So the end.
Oh boy. Well, how about if we go around really quick for a minute and say
let's give us all one big chuckle and say goodnight.
Yeah, for sure.
Vacation is what you make it.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. I'm gonna go to John here.
Statement.
I'm profound.
Mr. John.
I don't know where we're going here, but I got to tell you, this was so much fun. And I've been getting texts from several people that have been watching that can't appreciate all of you more for what you do. So to me, this is an hour vacation every Tuesday.
Oh, John, we love you so much.
And I'm going to go through
let there be light. This is light. Let there be light.
I don't know.
You have a dimming switch?
You got a dim switch, probably.
There or what? I got to run to another one. Just what fun. We'll see.
All right, Hipster, say one last thing before you go.
I was just going to say, what Kellyanne said, it is what you make of it, right?
That's
I mean,
right.
It's even like tonight. It's what you make of it. You just have fun and enjoy the experience. So
thank you, Hipster. I love you.
Do it again next week.
Yep. See you next week. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Well, I bet Scott, I bet the other Scott was watching this and said, hell with that. I'm not
touching that one.
Yeah, I'm not touching this one.
Well, okay. So the bright side of mine was that I got extra time off, by the way, because I was in recovery. So I got 2 vacations. So there was a bright side to it all, plus the GQ models. But besides that,
there you go.
The eye candy at the hospital.
There you go.
It was all good. And then, I was well. So
I was just stuck with like hairy big doctors.
Okay, we're gonna stay on the bright side.
Kellyanne, it's all you now, my friend.
I'm done.
He's like, continue. I can't wait.
Look at her. You can't do that to me.
Alan.
Okay, move Alan over there real quick.
It's Alan.
I am sort of almost speechless after tonight with the show. I mean, I was late because I was just finishing up an article and the pictures for a magazine that I was.
And you're like, I showed up to this.
And then I sort of wondered maybe I should have taken a little longer with that article. But I just hope everybody, whether it's a vacation or business, go out, travel, enjoy it, do it safely, and like Kellen said, make the most of everything you do.
Even being on a podcast like this.
That's right.
I appreciate you, Alan. I appreciate every one of you guys. You guys have been great. Miss Debbie.
Oh, well, I loved the trip that we were just on. And I also enjoyed just reminiscing about things like when you really stop and think about a memory that brought you joy or not, and then you learn something from the ones that don't. I loved it. I thought it was fun tonight. So thanks.
Thank you, Jen Gittimore, for just starting us off.
Jen,
and also Sandy. For Sandy.
I was talking to her before the show, and I go, I gotta go. I'm gonna go live, and she goes, "What show?" And so I told her.
And Sandy, thank you for inspiring us with the background there of the ocean with the motion.
I think John and Sandy just don't want to be recognized as being on this podcast. John. And now that we know he's scared about the drinking or swimming in the ocean, so now that we know that. But Debbie, thank you I was under the weather today, and you showed up for me, and Scott didn't get to come here. So again, I appreciate you guys all. Thank you so much for coming up. Maybe we'll have a topic next week. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. We all showed up. Shoot from the hip.
I got to tell you real quick. I know we got 30 seconds. Yes. Lynn, thank you so much. Well, Deb, you know I love you, but the way you run things and the way you direct things are absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So.
Oh, and hey, you guys, Debbie does have. She started her little boutique, Studio 11, and I still got to hit the Montana for her, but there's plenty of states that haven't ordered from her. If you'll just go over there and visit, and no pressure, but I just wanted you to know that I haven't even ordered yet, but get to it.
You don't have to. It's fine.
And Rex, do you want to say anything before we go? You just want to say goodbye? Okay. You want to say something before we go? Just bye? Oh, he's got lots of light. I'm going to let him.
I'm saying goodbye. Hold on. Let me mute this thing here. I can't.
It's okay.
There we go. All is wonderful. All is good. You are all lovely, and I love you all, and I'm going to watch the replay. And now who is that? Is that Debbie in the dark? No, who is that? That's Sandra.
That's Sandy.
No. Everybody's going dark. All right. Much love. Shed light on it, and I'll see you on the turnaround.
Yep. See you guys later. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope.